Hey there everybody, and welcome back to the YouTube channel, and also welcome back to my Welsh landscape painting series. This is the series that I am continuing on this channel of me doing this landscape painting. Now, in the last episode, I believe we painted some of this grass in the background here, and we painted some clouds here. And now in this video, we're going to try and get this last bit done on this side of the painting. I have been planning and thinking about for ages now, how am I going to do this? And the truth is, I don't really know yet, but we're going to take a look at that in this episode today. Now, what I'm thinking is of painting some more sort of rocks, but smaller, like gravel and stuff going along this riverbank here. So to do that, what we're going to do, we're going to mix some white and some black together with my palette knife here to make a nice light sort of grey colour that we want. We're going to put more white in than black to get a nice grey colour mixed up here, as you can see. And we're just going to cover over this area with some grey, and on top of that we'll add some like texture and stuff. So we're just gonna come to about here, just kind of decide where we want this area to start and end. So now essentially we've just painted basically where the river was flowing up there. Now we've just turned that into a bit of an embankment instead. I'm going to put a lighter colour at the top here, just sort of evening it all out, leveling it all out. And we're going to go down and down to darker and darker colours as we go down. Still keeping the gravel going across there, but we're just going to blend some nice greens in here, going all the way across, working our way down into a bit of a darker green, some different colour greens that I've got. So now we've got this sort of a turquoise sort of coloured green, and I think we're just going to stick a bit of this in the corner, blending it down at the top here, and then at the very bottom then we're going to put a bit of a darker green. So the effect that we want is we're making kind of like an embankment, you know. So at the bottom there we're just going to blend a darker green, use the side of the brush to get a nice line, and then going up then just blending all of our colours in, lightly striking the brush across, filling in any gaps. Yeah, just kind of like a bit of an embankment there. That's what we've got now. So we're going to leave that bit to dry now, because with this bit of the painting now we're using a lot of different colours, so we want to leave it dry before we layer anything else on and put any more textures in. So now that we've got that embankment and it's dried, we're just going to add a bit of texture here in the background with this round brush, just dabbing over the top with some different colours. darker and lighter colours. Different greens. Because this is a bit further away, we don't need as much detail as we had here or even here. So that's why I'm just dabbing these colours on and just getting some nice just mixture of greens and some nice just little textures for this embankment. Especially at the bottom here, where we're gonna mix some more greys and make some more of that gravel. Just gonna wash this brush and grab a smaller one now, and I need some more white on my palette, and this is really where that gravel is gonna come in now. Making some more greys and just dabbing it on with this small rounded brush. Up until about there. And then at the edges then we're going to do some more over the top of the very dark greys that we put down here. Just around the edges. Covering up all these little gaps here. Of where that is. There. Just lightly dabbing this small little round brush all over the place really. And now we've just chucked a little bit of green on, and we're going to add some little green bits in here and there on top of all of that. Not too much, just a little sprinkling of green. Okay, wash and dry that brush now, and we're just gonna chuck here and there. We're gonna put a bit of that brown, bit of burnt sienna, same sort of method. The edges a little bit as well, just giving a nice bit of texture. As you can see here, okay, so that's sort of our embankment. I'd say that is basically completed now. Oh, now that that's dried a little bit, we want to carefully decide where we want our tree to be. And I know I definitely want one to be about here. So because there's quite a dark colour in the background, we want quite a thick amount of paint. So because the background is like quite relatively dark, you got to get quite a thick amount of paint on for this tree. So I've just lightly painted the sort of the outline, and now to really get that paint on there, that brown paint, I'm using my palette knife to actually apply it. So we're just going to do the side of the trunk here, all the way down to the bottom of the tree, and we're just going to apply plenty of brown paint using the palette knife to get it on the canvas the way we want it. Very lightly, just tapping, filling those gaps in. And like I said, I just randomly with the brush went and kind of made our outline sort of thing. And now what we're going to do with the palette knife, get that trunk of that tree. This is only the first color that I'm using. It's going to be brown. We're just going to go down, smooth it out with the palette knife a little bit, to fill in all those gaps. Because what this does is once it dries, it'll create a nice texture for our colors and everything that we want on here, going on here with this tree. So I'm just gonna get some branches going here. And this is how I've always sort of painted trees. You kind of just got to decide where you want them first of all, and then how you want them to look, how you want the branches to look and everything. So we're gonna do a nice big branch going up this way to the middle. We're gonna do another one going up this way, up here, and this way as well. Just laying that brown paint down with the palette knife, using it to create those branches, create that texture. There we go. And then also using now that we've got a good amount of paint on there, using the brush just to refine a little bit more, kind of get the shape of it going a bit better. Sort of deciding where we need our branches to be. Thick branch going straight up, make them a bit taller. Gonna need a lot more of this brown, but here finding these branches a lot more, and then deciding then where you want them to split off, how thick you want them to be when they do split off, how long you want them to be as well, which direction you want them to be in as well, where you want them to be straight or you want them to be curved, or how many times you want them to sort of split off. It's all up to you how you want to do this. So I can come back in then with thinner brush, some of these parts. And then a thinner brush again then for the edges. And one going across here. He's going to split off into another little one. And this one's here is going to slightly split off. My favourite part of painting trees is deciding all of this, how you want it to be. So this one's going to split off in this direction and that direction. I have a long one up here. That's going to split off there. This one here is going to split off in a few different directions. Maybe it'll overlap a little bit. I'll go back there. There we are. We're going to have another little arm coming down here. That's going to split off into two there. And this one long one, one short one, and one little one coming out. Then this one here, we're gonna go, and I'm, as you notice, I'm doing these strokes backwards because it's easier. In my opinion, it's easier to do that way to get together direction that you want. So this one's gonna come over there. We're gonna have a long one split off of that again, I think. It's gonna come all the way over here. And that one coming back here to it. And then little one in that direction, just a couple of tiny little ones. And this one's going to split off again here and here. And I think we're going to have another little arm coming into this one there and there, like that. I think off of the main tree we're going to have one go swoop down like that. He's going to swoop down to about here. And he's going to split off into another one there. And he's going to split off into three little small ones. And we could have even this one here split off. There we are. And we're going to have one coming out here, but it snapped off early. And the same thing here, just a little arm. Do you know what I'm thinking? Maybe one more little thin one coming off into there, into here as well. This one splits off into a small one. And so does this one. This one too, that one's going to have a little three splitting off of that one. And then this arm here, that one's going to have one come up here, split off into there like that. And two or three thin, or maybe four even, thin ones coming off of there. That one's going to be a bit longer. And then a little bit less paint for the thinner ones then. They're gonna, a couple of them are gonna split off like that. And I think we're gonna have one little lone one going up there. You don't want to go overboard with it. You don't want to go too much. But again, it's up to you how many branches you put on this tree is going to be a little bit dead, unfortunately. It's, you know, it's winter time. All of his leaves are falling off and he's looking a bit bare, this tree. So there we go. I'm going to wash this brush now and add a little bit of texture to it in some places. Bit of a black colour. This will add some nice shadow to it. As you can see, it's a dark, gloomy day out, so some bits of this tree are going to be a little bit darker than others. We'll have a little branch coming out there. And then we're just gonna put a bit more here. Bit of darkness there. Over this side too. Why not? And then, yeah, we'll go here a little bit. All the way down. Yeah, we'll go here with this one. Leaving a little bit of light at the top there. Just get you guys a close-up of that. So, gonna have a few small little thin little branches coming in on this side, and from the bottom here. There we are. We're going to add a little one in there and kind of go down with it. Don't worry about where I've smudged it a little bit. We can fix that. I'm just worried about getting this tree done at the minute. Maybe you can have a couple of tiny little bits. Why not? And then definitely at the bottom here, a little bit of black, a little bit there, around the edges here. And you can have a couple of little arms coming off, why not? So then there and there. Where we want our darker colours to be. Definitely a bit here with this black going down. And the black goes all the way down. Down here. We're going to stick some more here. Give him two little arms. Definitely at the top here we're going to go all the way in with that one. And here as well. We're not covering absolutely everything, just some of the lighter bits that are a bit more see-through. And don't worry about the smudging, we can fix that. I'm just worried about these branches a minute. This one here, there, and then we want to go across the top here. all the way down to there. This black also gives some of the bigger trunks, bigger branches, some texture. There we go. Okay, so now we can take the time to fix where we've kind of smudged the trunk a little bit. Told you don't worry about that because it's easily fixed. Just get a bit of brown on my palette knife, steadily going down like we did before, covering up all those gaps and go at an angle for the bottom here. Widening it up at the bottom a bit. There we go. So we're not quite done with that black yet though. We've got a couple of branches over here we're going to sort out as well. Just the ones that are a bit more, they're a bit more see-through and don't really look so good. They don't look as strong as the other ones. This one comes down here, it gets snapped off there. A little bit on the tip of this one here, coming down. And then this one over here, we got a couple of stripes of black in there as well. Going down to these ones, and this one coming up to here as well. Take a step back every now and again, take a look at it, make sure you're happy with it. While that dries, we can fix some other bits we might not be happy with. Just cover these bits of brown up a bit. Maybe want a bit of a darker paint. Just to get a bit of detail in. And then do what we always do, just the detail. Maybe we've got a bit of a bush here, that like a really long pointy grass that you might see on the side of a mountain. Okay, so for the last couple of details of this tree now, I've washed that small little tiny little brush, and we're going to get a lighter colour now instead, and just in some areas we're going to stick that light colour on in small amounts. I'm going to put some on this branch here. Maybe we'll make a little arm there, just to create some more texture on this tree. That's why I enjoy painting trees, because I feel like they're quite easy compared to some other things like the rocks maybe. So we're gonna stick some of this lighter colour down. Maybe make a little arm here. Stick it all the way down there. And here as well. Just in all of our lighter sort of areas. We don't want it to be too dark absolutely everywhere, so we're just going to put like highlights, you know, here and there, over the top of that black. Again, just giving this tree a lot more texture, you know. Maybe I took some small little arms coming off there, just why not? Little bit there. Give that some texture, neaten that edge up a bit. Blend it in. And then some more then. Trying not to touch that trunk, because we did just fix that. Went all the way down the outside of the black. And we're just going to put more bits here and there. This branch up here, lighten that one up a bit. For this tree we are applying the paint on quite thick to get those textures. On some lighter areas here. This is also again where it looks a bit see-through and not so good. Add some more paint on the top to make it a bit less like opaque, if you get me. So we're just going to go over some of these little branches here. Mainly the edge ones with a lighter colour. Not all of them, not everywhere, you know. Just in some bits. There we go. So my camera's gonna die soon, so I'm probably gonna cut this episode short here. We have done quite a lot of painting today. I thought maybe I'll be able to get this painting done in this episode, but it looks like maybe next episode. I reckon definitely next episode we're gonna chuck a few more trees and a few more details and that down. And that'll be it for this painting series then. So everybody who has been watching, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.